Catholic High School with head coach Korey Mobbs, where Tennessee's newest commitment, Trevor Duncan, plays football at. You've not had Trevor for your entire coaching career because you're getting ready to roll into year number 2 here, but you know what good football players look like. Let's talk a little bit about Trevor. What do you like about him? What did you recognize about him when you first got here?
Well, I think, obviously you look at him physically, 6'5.5", 275, kind of speaks for itself. The best part about Trevor is he is low maintenance in every part of who he is. He practices his tail off. He's not a social media darling, which is, kind of unheard of nowadays.
In this day and age, yeah.
And that kind of just sums up who he is. He goes to work every day. He's always the last one to leave the weight room, and just super excited about being here and having the ability to coach him.
When you got here and before you knew his personality and you just saw him on the practice field kind of go athletically, what jumped out at you about his physical skills, aside from the fact that he's 6'5.5"?
Well, you look at how mammoth he is. 275 and wears it extremely well. Not much body fat. It's going to be a guy they probably want to put on 20 or 30 pounds, depending on what they do with him position-wise. Probably the biggest piece of who he is physically is his versatility on both offense and defense. So, and he's the kind of kid that's going to be okay with whatever they think's best for him, which kind of speaks to who he is.
You've been around a lot of good football from where you came from, and you've coached a lot of good players, including Derek Brown. I don't want you to compare him to other players, but when do you know that a guy's kind of got that it factor?
Yes.
What stands out to you?
Well, so obviously number one is what they look like, right? We're not all, it's easy. They got to look a certain way.
Right.
But Trevor just carries himself in the manner of some of those guys that I've coached. I'm fortunate to have had 5 guys play in the SEC at different positions. Most of them have been, linemen or defensive guys. So he's just got that pop to him. He knows he can improve in many different areas, but he's got that pop to him that they all have. And how do you describe that pop? It's the twitch that the normal kids don't have, and he's going to continue to improve that every day.
Did you see that right out of the gate? Was that a guy where you went in there? Yeah, he's with some work and tweak here, he's definitely going to be a Power 5 SEC guy.
Absolutely. And we had Robert Ayers here last year working with him defensive line, and then we're going to have Kevin Simon, Troy Fleming working with him. Here coming up this year, 2 guys we've just added to the staff. So he's going to get the best training, as do every kid that comes to Catholic. But there's just something about who he is that is really appealing. And obviously my conversations with Coach Garner, having that relationship with him, when he wants a kid. And so I think they're all excited about it.
That relationship with Coach Garner, as a coach, you go into that. There's no nonsense there. He's going to be blunt, and you know exactly what they think, what he thinks, and what Trevor needs to work on, which has got to be a blessing for Trevor. For you can put him on that path anyway, right?
Yeah, there's a reason Coach G's the best, because he's going to tell you exactly what he thinks, and he's going to probably coach the best players the hardest. He's going to coach them all hard.
Right.
But if you can be great, then you know what you're going to get, and that's what makes it special. So it'll be a good pairing, regardless of where Trevor ends up position-wise. Be a great thing.
Ceiling for Trevor, where do you think? What's the next step for him to start to move towards that ceiling?
Yeah, so this year I think he'll continue to be dominant on the field. Practice-wise, he has all the habits that the great ones are supposed to have. And then at the next level, the sky's going to be the limit for him because he has all the intangibles of the hype doesn't matter. I just got to put my head down and work, and so very high ceiling for Trevor Duncan.
There you go, Trevor Duncan, Tennessee's newest fall. All the details you need to know about his game from his head coach, very experienced, successful head coach, Coach Mobbs, right here at Catholic High School.